All right, guys. So like all videos in which I'm discussing the pandemic or the virus, I have to give a disclaimer here. I am simply talking about public policy. Nothing more, nothing less. I am making no claims about the virus and that everybody should listen to the CDC and protect themselves. Now, Governor Greg Abbott has basically broke conservative Twitter because he has issued an executive order to lift the mask mandate and to open Texas 100%. And a lot of conservatives are breathing a sigh of relief because there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel. Now, this comes as there's an increase in vaccinations, and cases in Texas are going down. Governor Greg Abbott said, you know what? Let's just open up this thing 100% and get rid of the mandate. So let's read here, the statement so we can get a better look at what he's saying here. Governor Greg Abbott today issued an executive order lifting the mask mandate in Texas and increasing capacity of all businesses and facilities in the state to 100%. The governor made the announcement at Mentalago's Mexican restaurant in Lubbock in an address to the Lubbock Chamber of Congress. Quote, with the medical advancements of vaccines and antibody therapeutic drugs, Texas now has the tools to protect Texans from the virus, said Governor Abbott. We must now do more to restore livelihoods and normalcy for Texans by opening Texas 100%. Make no mistake, COVID-19 has not disappeared, but it is clear from the recoveries, vaccinations, reduced hospitalizations, and safe practices that Texas are using that state mandates are no longer needed. Today's announcement does not abandon safe practices that Texans have mastered over the past year. Instead, it is a reminder that each person has a role to play in their own personal safety and the safety of others. With this executive order, we are ensuring that all businesses and families in Texas have the freedom to determine their own destiny. All right, so he goes to further talk about the statistics and goes into more details about reopening here in this letter. So basically what he's saying is the same thing that Governor Kristi Noem was saying in her interview with Face the Nation, which is that, listen, I'm going to give people the opportunity to decide how they want to protect themselves and their families. Now, obviously, Governor Greg Abbott didn't say to stop using safe practices or stop looking out for yourself or to ignore the virus. That's not what he's saying. That's not what anybody's saying. What he's essentially saying is that, listen, we're at the point now where we feel that we have the tools to handle this thing and to, help mitigate a lot of the damage that it's caused. It's at the point now where it's not worth, impeding on people's freedoms, their rights, and their abilities to go to school, go to work, make money, have a business. We don't want to do that anymore, right? We just want to have people live their lives. Now, the super liberals are upset about this as hashtag vote them out is now trending on Twitter, in which they're talking about trying to vote out Greg Abbott, right? Particularly over the mask thing. Now you have also AOC, who is super liberal number one. Basically coming out and stating her piece here. She says that 93.2% of Texans aren't fully vaccinated. The state just endured one disaster worsened by selfishness, plus denial of basic science, and now conditions are being set for another. Repealing the mask mandate now endangers so many people, especially essential workers and the vulnerable. The most controversial part about this, I think, is probably the mask mandate. I think a lot of the liberals are upset because, the governor is not requiring a mask anymore. Now, I'm not sure how that applies to businesses. Maybe some businesses that's in harder hit areas may still be requiring masks, right? But that's the whole point. The whole point is that areas of the state and people who want to wear the mask can wear the mask, right? And people who don't, hey, they're living their lives, right? And, if people feel that it's not safe, then they can stay home, they can continue to social distance, and they don't have to go out. It's really that simple. And I really don't understand why liberals find freedom in being anti-authoritarian, being anti-fascist so controversial, right? This should not be controversial, Okay. I mean, at some point, right? We're gonna have to open back up. Right. I mean, I don't know if there'll ever be a day where the virus is going 100%. I don't know. Right. So, my thing is this, like, if the virus never goes away and we always have to deal with it, then does that mean that we can never open up fully? Does that mean that, our new way of life is, wearing masks all the time? Right? Like, is that really what a lot of the people on the left want? Or people that are, really, worried about COVID want? Is that what they want? Right? Because I mean, I think one thing, that probably should be changed is not identifying, conservatism with, whether or not you want to wear a mask or whatever. I feel like that's kind of silly, and we do that too much, and I think that equals problems for us. So I apologize. I do that, and I wish I didn't. But regardless, I guess what I'm saying is that people that are really worried about this virus, right? Do you really want us to stay locked down forever? Like, when can we actually open? Is it when the CDC says we can open? Right? Is it when Joe Biden says we can open? Like, when is it? And, a lot of people have been critical, of Trump because Trump wasn't a fascist, because Trump wasn't authoritarian, because Trump said, I'm going to let the states handle it and let them do what's best for their people. And for whatever reason, again, people found that to be the worst thing ever, right? So I do expect the media is going to try to go after Governor Greg Abbott very, very hard, right? They're going to go after him the same way that lady went after Kristi Noem on Face the Nation. Now, again, if things start to take a turn for the worse, I think there is a provision in here that does allow the judges in the region, a county judge, to re-implement mitigation strategies. But more than anything, if things start to take a turn for the worse, the media's going to really hammer hard on Greg Abbott. So it'll be interesting to see if he sticks to his guns on this and they continue forward with this, even if things get worse. Or is it just one of those things where the state will stay open, the liberals will criticize it, but eventually it'll just go away, right? Like, you just ignore it. It just goes away and people are living their lives, and, it is what it is. Well, so, hey, this is some big news, right? This is kind of some light at the end of the tunnel for those of us who want to see the country open back up, want to get back to our normal lives. So, big news. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's too early? Do you think he should have waited a little bit? Let me know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.